happened?
Buck Montgomery and his gang killed her family.
I'm writing him down, Pa.
Listen, kids, ain't no such thing as a fair gunfight. The winner lives, the loser dies. You know, shoot him in the back if you can.
My face is on a lead wanted poster in this territory.
I know this kind of man. He won't forget. He's coming soon.
The C-Bar story is about an exceptional family that ran into a very, very bad situation, stepped up to the plate, did what they had to do despite all of the consequences. I woke up one morning and started writing. I'd never written anything, and it just kind of poured out of somewhere, kind of like I was reading it and writing it at the same time. Very strange experience, really. I don't know where it came from.
So I read the book, The C-Bar Story, and it was everything that I love in a story. It had action, it had violence, but it also had this wholesome family feeling to it.
The main character is Docky Barnett, born to rough conditions, but born a good guy. And then he had to deal with all the difficulties that life brought him, and it was the family structure, really, that saw him through it all.
I think JL is just a really neat character. She's got a real hard, tough side, a little cantankerous, always is looking for fun, but she can also be super loving and soft, but it's very deep.
Bobby Blue is a pretty self-reliant guy. He'd do anything, bend backwards, is about as loyal as he can be for Docky because of the lifelong friendship they've had.
This story takes place about the 1880 time period. So things were still very lawless. There was still a lot of danger lurking around. And that's what makes the story fun and interesting.
Growing up, my dad was a huge Western fan, always had a John Wayne movie on, so I was a Western fan because I was watching with my dad. So the first time I heard that this movie was going to be a Western, I just got excited.
It's got a lot of themes of justice in it. It's got a lot of themes of murder. It's a little teeny bit of a horror story.
Well, first of all, I'm growing a beard so I can be in C-Bar Story.
Die fish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I play Snakebite too. He's a real bad guy.
Craig, struggle. Go for the rock. Cut.
All right, Craig, get up and go take a shower.
I actually get to play the young Docky Barnett. It was pretty cool.
I don't know if outlaws is the right word, but yeah, we're kind of outlaws because we're young, stubborn, ignorant. We just go around shooting places up. It's, just young guys having a really good time.
We're getting ready to shoot the campfire scene after we just robbed a bank. We're gonna make it rain.
All right, cut.
When you're writing a novel, you're by yourself in front of a computer, but when you're making a movie, you better surround yourself with the right people or you're wasting your time. The film crew is exceptional, the actors are exceptional. Something that's made this movie very easy for us to put together are the incredible number of Western reenactors. Buck Montgomery has a casting company and he's brought people to us that live this life. Every weekend they're out reenacting some Western event, and these people have come forward. It's been just a lot of fun.
I think actually what's really great about our crew and kind of shows just the dedication, how everyone has their roles, doing what needs to be done. It's really kind of the most serious project I've been involved with.
But for everything else I'm doing, there's guns, there's horses, there are countless footsteps in this thing. And let's see, tobacco being spit out, lots of grunting with cowboys and things like that.
Getting to set's always a lot of fun. Like we're with all of us are really good friends.
Beat that son of a bitch! I found the fountain of youth.
You'll get better. I promise.
Can you reattach it?
Yes, I will. Cut.
You come in and you block him from just barging into your house kind of thing.
Tell them.
So, and then right then, he comes through with JL. Yeah, right.
Mark, the author of the C-Bar story, he has actually been wearing a million different hats through this entire process. He has been the producer, he has been a collaborator, he's been the script writer. Not only are we working from his original idea, but he's actually like the father on set to all of us. He's always there with 20 torches if we need him, 40 torches if we need him. He's handing out the gasoline, the kerosene, I'm sorry.
The cool thing about working with Mark is that him and I just work great together. Like, we always trust each other first. We're always honest with each other. And, you know, we got a relationship that makes it so easy to get work done, and everything's always so pleasant, and we're always on the same page. And if we're not on the same page, we always get on the other person's page and agree with each other 100%.
And action!
Arizona is full of wild places and great scenic places. The hard thing to find are good locations with correct buildings. Pioneer Village in Phoenix is exceptional. They're a historic center. They brought in buildings from all over Arizona. So much history at Pioneer Village is really just unbelievable. Without Pioneer Village, it wouldn't have been much of a movie.
It's a very relatable story, and it's to the bone Western. Period piece guns, period piece costumes, period piece you know, homes, set locations. So that's making the story come to life. And I love the entire process, just looking at all the footage.
So, Mark, was it fun producing C-Bar, making the movie?
Oh yeah. It took us 8 months to film it. It was like an 8-month-long party. We had, on the final day of shooting, we had a party. People were crying over it. Yeah, you want to live that. You don't want it to end. You just want to get up every day, and it's as much fun as you think it would be. Believe me, a lot of fun.
I had a lot of fun making C-Bar. I kind of wish that it just never ended. I'm ready to keep doing it full time and keep making more and more episodes, because it's what everybody, when they're doing it and participating, everybody just feels so right. It's so much fun. Ask anybody involved. I mean, everybody's eager to keep going, and the people who got killed off are really sad that they can't be in it anymore, and you know, that's how much fun it was, you know. People don't want it to end, and it was just a good time. It was good people. It brought an incredible group of people together.
I didn't worry about script. I didn't worry about everybody saying exactly what I wrote down. I'm going to take that one step further. Before the scene, the actors will come together. We'll block it out. We'll talk about what's happening, what each character is experiencing, what they're feeling, what they're doing in this scene, and they have nothing to go on from there except their own instincts. The script is going to be written as it comes out of their mouth. Totally improv, totally. I can't wait, but I think there's going to be some incredible spontaneity with that approach.
Hi, I'm Patrick with C-Bar Productions. I just want to give a special thanks to everybody who's contributed and helped us make it this far. Now some footage from C-Bar.
That is a friend, no? Yeah.
Ave Maria, Madre de amor y de bondad. Alumbra mi alma, sé mi guía. Oh, Madre mía, de mí, ten piedad.
will seek his vengeance, and you will be sorry for your sins. I am going to be there. I am going to be there.
Well, look who came to see me. How are you, sweetheart?
Word is John Doe escaped on the way to Yuma.
Well, he escaped or paid someone off. If I know John Doe, he had help.
Could have paid off the bounty hunter, the sheriff. Sheriff just put a $5,000 bounty up. Pa?
Let's go find Sim Frost.
Sim Frost?
Last time we saw Sim, he was escorting John Doe and Pecos Bill down to Yuma.
I'm not going to skip you. You would take you were out of candy. I'm in one last time. Wish you. Queens, huh? What do you think about that right there? Oh, God. I'll take my money, boys.
Interested?
Who did that to you, sweetheart?
What would you do if you knew?
He wouldn't do it to you again.
What was that answer, man? Raise your two, my two.
Well, Sam, see you're still drinking that coffin varnish.
Four and I raised one.
Word is that John Doe got away. That's so. That is so. I know. I saw you with him.
I delivered him to Sheriff Bodine. After that, I have nothing to do with it.
You know he's coming for you.
Why would he be coming for me? I was just doing my job.
I'm not talking about that. I'm speaking of the past.
The past? That was a long time ago. And he's not going to risk coming around here for something that happened decades ago.
Got at least 1 and a 50. One more hand. All right.
Sheriff, what do you know about John Doe?
Docky, there's law in this town now. Without law, there's no peace. You saved the town once, and we're all grateful. But that time is over.
I'll always protect my family and this town. We'll find John Doe.
I will find John Doe and see to it that he is hung. Now, why do you think Sim knows something about this?
Sam?
Yeah? What makes you think I know anything about it?
John Doe's not afraid of the law. He's not afraid of a bounty hunter. John Doe fears justice. I'll see you boys later. There's something strange going on. If you'll find Eric Allen and Uncle Norm, I'm going to get Bobby.
You got it, Pa.
Docky knows what's going on. You're damn right he does. But he doesn't know everything.
Been a spell, hey, Docky?
Am I dead?
Do you like Westerns? Is that what you really enjoy? Well, we got a treat today. And I want to talk to you today about the C-Bar series and the C-Bar franchise, movie, book. And I have a special guest, by the way. We're partners in C-Bar, but I'm going to actually interview him just like I do for my radio show. This is going to be fun. Let's see how he does. Mark Bauer. Mark, there you are, buddy. How are you?
I just snuck up on you.
You snuck up on me, man. You scared me. Hey, for those the audience out there, and this is not just in the United States. We're talking about China, India, Germany, Japan. The love of the Western, which is what you and I love, and the reason that you did this. I'd like you to take a few minutes and just talk about what made you write the C-Bar, the book, and then talk how that developed into C-Bar, the movie. And then after that, I got some other questions, but I think it might be interesting for the audience to understand how it came about.
Sure, sure. I have no idea where it came from. It just started. It was a story I had in my head, out of the blue. I thought I'd write a little quick story, and it just grew and grew and grew. Grew into a novel. I didn't know if people would like it, but they did. And a young fellow named Patrick Ball, filmmaker, called me, said, let's make a movie. And of course I said yes immediately. And away we went.
Wow. You know, one of the things that I thought was fascinating is for Patrick being such a young guy and being in the love of making movies. And I think for so many people around the world, millions of people that go to the movies and love the movies, and I think what was fascinating to me about you guys is you didn't sit around, you did it. And I thought that was really fascinating. So the credibility of actually putting this movie together. The second piece I was going to ask you is, it's kind of interesting because when we say movies, we think Hollywood, we think Los Angeles, we think of geographically these areas where these movies are made. And you guys are living up in the Prescott, Yavapai County area, and you're going, why are you up there making a movie?
Because we have everything we need. They've been making movies there for 100 years.
Example.
Junior Bonner with Steve McQueen.
Man.
Correct. Goes on and on. The list is huge. We've got great country. We've got a great climate. We've got everything you'd ever want for a Western movie.
Okay, I got a question for you. And this is, so it's the Prescott area. And if I'm not mistaken, didn't the Earps?
Oh, they walked the streets.
They lived there, right?
They walked, Doc Holliday, the Earp boys, they all walked the streets in Prescott. They were there before they went to Tombstone.
Wow. And Tom Mix made his movies up there, right?
Tom Mix made a lot of movies in Prescott, yeah.
So when we look at this from a credibility standpoint, we have a director, we have an author, we have a movie maker that's made this movie, we have an area that's known for making Westerns. And that's pretty exciting. I know, living up there, watching the people come into town for the rodeo and all that. And you just see it in their eyes how much they love this. One of the things I wanted to ask is, you had some other people in this movie that were not professional actors.
No.
And my question is what was, and it's hard to do because they have to tell their experience, which I know some of it's on the website. What was that experience for them like? Can you give me 2 or 3 examples?
We had people that would call. They got wind that we were doing this. They called and they wanted to be in the movie. Well, in order to make that happen, it's an expensive process. And I said, yeah, but you'll have to spend a little money. And they said, how's this work? I said, well, I got to know a little more about you so I can create a part for you that is legitimate, it's good, it fits into what we're doing. They loved every second of it. They traveled from Texas and far away as Florida. And They got to be in a Western movie.
You know, this is really funny because I've traveled a lot and I've seen a lot of Westerns. And as a kid, you know, a lot of us grew up watching Westerns on TV because we didn't have all the other shows they have today. So when we take a look at that, and there's millions of people around this world that would love to be in a Western.
Oh, that's true.
So whether you're from China or Germany or Cleveland, Ohio, what would you do? First of all, there's a three-part question.
Okay.
When we say be in a movie, it sounds really great. I think when they got on the airplane and to fly here and to be in the movie, would they be scared when they're sitting on the plane thinking about what have I done? Oh my God. So how would that experience make them be comfortable, an enjoyable experience, and so much fun that they go, you know, I got to do this again?
When I do this and I write the part for these people, I have to know these people because I can't ask them to do something that's totally foreign. I want them to be themselves as if we'll give them a different name, of course, but I don't want them to be an actor. I want them to be themselves. And that's when you get the real authentic person in front of the camera. And that's what you have to do.
So you would actually write a script for them?
Tailored, with them, tailored to them.
Wow. Okay.
Now, here's something else. When you're writing these parts, here's what I always try to do. I try to make the audience laugh. I try to make the audience cry. And then I want the people to be a hero at just the right moment. If I can get somebody and spend a little time with them, write the script with them, tailor-make their part, I can do all three of those things.
So what we're talking about here is from as we go around the world, we say, hey, we've made movies. We have credibility from that standpoint. We've made the experience for that people that wanted to be in the movie extra special. We'll actually write a part or a script for them that they're comfortable with. I'm going to come from Germany, and I'm taking my family over here on vacation, and Dad's going to be the star of the movie.
You bet.
He's going to be the star.
You bet.
So now I have my wife and my 3 kids. Are they on the side going, yay, Daddy?
Oh, no, we'll bring them right in.
You're going to let?
Oh, yeah.
You'd let them be in?
The nice thing about being the writer, I can do whatever I want.
So the kids, the mom, and the dad could be the star?
I can make them a family. I can make it any way I want. Wow. Oh, yeah. I can write myself in and out of anything. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
If the wife wants to sing, and the husband wants to be a hero, and the kids want to be orphans on the street, I can do all of that.
You know, I think one of the things that intrigued me when you and I first met was, first, the love of Westerns.
Oh, yeah.
2, the love of the movie industry in general. And 3, one of the things that got me so involved in this was, with you and Patrick, was when I saw, and you gave me some personal experiences of the people that were actually in the movie. Not extras, but actually were in the movie. And to me, what that said was, if I had a dream for anybody that felt that way, that they could come to Prescott area, close to the Grand Canyon, close to Sedona, close to Phoenix, and have this for the rest of their lives, that they could have an experience to actually be in an episode and be part of that. And that's what kept driving me. And Mark, you and I have talked about this, my God, for X number of months. Yeah. And I think the thing that's exciting for the people out there is we can do this. We can make this happen. It's been done, and that's what's fun. I'm going to say something for a second, that when I met Mark and I met Patrick, these are 2 of the easiest guys in the world to work with. You never felt intimidated. You don't feel like you're out of place. I don't care where you're from, what language you speak. One thing about this studio and about these people is it's a common language. It's a common love for something that you want to do. And I think that's the bond that C-Bar Studios and C-Bar franchise, what we've really created. And so you're going to write a script, huh?
Oh, I'm going to write a script. Yeah, well,
Okay.
I've already written the next 2 episodes, but I've got places for characters in those next 2 episodes that I haven't done much with because I'm waiting to see if somebody comes forward and the dream is.
Okay, so here's what we have to do real fast because we're running out of time. We have 2 new episodes that are going to be coming up. If you are serious or have any interest in coming and being a movie star in a Western, please contact us. We have our website, C-Bar Ranch. We're ready to talk and have the fun experience of your lifetime because you got one of the greatest guys right here and truly a true Westerner that rides his own horse and doesn't do any doubles. This is him.
No, we don't do that.
Folks, listen to me. If you want a world-class, absolute experience of a lifetime that no other studio in the world can do for you, you need to contact us at C-Bar. We'd love to have you come out and have some fun. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. 2 episodes coming up. Please contact us if you want to be in them. God bless you, good luck, and take care.
That was a song, and it was a song of joy, of happiness, of saying, I'm going home, and I'm happy I'm going home.
It's a painful story that needs to be told.
Because this is a story that has not really been told. It's a story of the incarceration of our native peoples, of our Navajo peoples.
A long time ago, early 1860s, is when all of our ancestors have been gathered up. And then they were told to walk to Fort Sumner, New Mexico.
People have come to her home and they've been captured again. So, and she thought like, okay, I'm not gonna fight. So she just went along.
The soldiers were ordered to kill all men and take the women and children. The death march was 400 miles. They had no food, no water to take with them.
Ones who were caught were basically in New Mexico and the eastern part of Arizona. And they were taken, it was about 8,000 taken down to Fort Sumner, which is in New Mexico, and Navajo we call it Huelde, the place of suffering.
The soldiers were in horses and wagons, but the Navajo people, the moccasins were worn out, nothing to wear. Their feet were blistered and sore.
These people were not nice, she says. They were thrown people, even elderly people. She saw her mom and her grandma got crushed. They were just throwing all the people in the wagon. And even little kids, they were just being crushed. And she just walked, and she knew she lost all her family. And she just kept on walking and walked all the way.
And along the way, there was many stories of people who were just shot because they were ill. Babies would cry, they'd shoot them.
People that are trying to run off, they just have to be shot down.
The soldiers kept on pushing them and pushing them and pushing them, and they wanted to rest, but they couldn't rest. The only time they could rest was when the soldiers wanted to rest. During the march, there were some harsh winters that they went through. The kids were just in rags, no clothing, no food to eat. I mean, it was just a brutal march. I mean, these people were suffering day after day.
There was just a pile and pile of Dene people. They just put them in the wash and just put covers with dirt over them.
Kids who couldn't keep up with the group were just left there and were just usually mercifully shot and killed. Otherwise, they were just left there to be part of the carnivores' dinners, you know. So.
Even up to this day, people still say that the Dene people were not malicious people.
When the youth gets hold of the Navajo, either they rape the woman or either they rape little kids and stuff like that. Those were the ones that do the capturing for the soldiers. They help the soldier capture the Navajo. After they do everything, all their business, and then they give it to the soldiers.
Kit Carson was a traitor. He betrayed the Navajo people.
Kit Carson was a bad person. The way they've been treated, yeah, they gave up. They put their white flag on, went to Fort Defiance, but still, it doesn't matter. They had to walk.
There was a burnout campaign by Kit Carson in which he tried to get as many Navajos as he could. He got about 7,000 or 8,000 Navajos.
He wanted to flush out the Navajos by contaminating their water, killing their livestock, burning their crops.
Because they have fields of corn, they have fields of squash, they have orchards, they have flocks of sheep, they have cows, they have horses. These people are very well set. Kit Carson went after all this, and he burned out the hogans, he burned out the crops, he chopped down the orchards and burned them, you know, and this was the scorched earth policy he used.
The federal government was after gold, minerals, uranium. I mean, the Navajo land was rich. Kit Carson hurt a lot of people, and up to this day, some of the effects are still with our elderly people.
At one time, Christopher Carson, lived among the Navajo, and he learned how the Navajo live and how they were, where their homes were, where their food stores were.
We can outrun soldiers if they're riding their horse, and we were like jackrabbits. And we just go where people can't see you. And that's how fast the Navajo used to be.
Oh, here in this valley, yes, there's some people that weren't caught. They were hiding on top of these mesas. That's the survival mesa. That's where people were hiding on top, and the soldier never found them.
So what happens like when a woman is pregnant? When our Diné people are pregnant. When a woman is about close to due time, that's when they wove, it's like a belt, maybe about that wide. When you're being chased and you're running away from your enemy, all of a sudden you go in labor. And as you're running along the desert, all you have to do is untie your belt. You see a branches or a tree right there, you see branches, just throw that thing over it, and that's how you deliver your baby.
My grandfather, he was born in 1865, either on the way to Fort Sumner or down there. And he was one of the lucky children, lucky babies that survived that incident. There was, I think, something like 15 to 20% survival rate among children that were born there or on the way there. And he was one who survived. He was born 1865. He passed away in 1962. When I remember my grandfather, my tears flow. Why do people cry when they pray? The reason why you cry when you pray is you approach the Creator the way you approached your mother. When you were born, you cried out to her and she knew you were alive. So when we approach the Creator, we cry so He knows we are alive.
In 1864, there were 25,000 Navajos. In 1868, within that 4-year span, there were only 2,000 remaining.
This is your home, this is the safe place, and it's very quiet, and this is very holy place. Even when you yell out there, there's echo. Even to that, we still have people pray to them.
My mom had taught me, you are not supposed to hate people. That is not you. You have to have a heart for it. Even though somebody is your enemy, even though they don't like you, you always have to have a heart for them. I think we were taught that too much. And that's why we don't have hate for other people or people that have hurt us, people that hurt you.